Welcome back. All right, so we've talked about Ottawa in this playlist. Now we're looking at the Chicago Blackhawks. Of course, Chicago, more known at this point over the last 6, 7 years that I've been doing these power rankings, or I guess we're into year 8 at this point. No, year 7. But more known for all the off ice stuff and all the controversies that have fallen this team. I think the organization is quite anxious for the narrative to become one of when are they going to reach the playoffs. And by their standing as 31st on the power rankings on average overall, it's going to be a while. So the fact that it's going to be a while must be frustrating for some in Chicago Blackhawks fandom. This is an interesting one, too, because to start the 2017-2018 season, I had them at the top of the board. They were upset in the 2017 playoffs by an upstart Nashville Predators team. But the idea was, well, yeah, Chicago got upset in the first round, but they're still really good. And then the season started and they weren't. So they fall down that chart really, really quickly. Within a few weeks, they're right down below 20. They would bounce back during that season, but they don't bounce back for that long. And so for the Chicago Blackhawks, it's been tough. So the highest they got was first in the 2017-2018 season. Since then, they got to 13th once during 2018-2019, 14th once during 2020-2021, 17th twice during the 2019-2020 season, 24th three times during the 2021-2022 season, and this season they have peaked at 28th. They've been there twice, and this really feels like it's part of the plan, and it's tough because they really have torn this down. Everything must go. It was a for sale sign, and everybody basically went. So their average, the best average being 2020-2021 when it was 19.38. And again, keeping in mind that they were first to start the 2017-2018 season, the fact their average became 20.04 tells you just how precipitous that drop really was and how quickly things turned into rebuild discussions. And it's a discussion that I had mentioned in a video, I want to say in 2016, that Chicago fans got really mad about when I asked the question, like, if they wanted to really retool this, could you trade Jonathan Toews? And the answer was a resounding no. But again, it's a discussion I've had before where I think sometimes teams get attached to players. And I understand this. Like when you won Stanley Cups as they had, you don't want to trade players out. But at the same time, you have to think about future assets as well. And I do wonder with how Vegas has been successful with that kind of making sacrifices now because you feel like you have a chance to win with the right assets. I wonder if other teams will follow that pattern in the future, meaning as players get older and you realize, okay, he's not going to be 25 again tomorrow, he's 34, maybe teams start moving on from players a little bit earlier than they otherwise might. But hey, it's a whole other discussion, right? So looking at the Chicago Blackhawks over this period in time, Patrick Kane, their leading scorer, because of course he is, 421 games, 161 goals, 312 assists, 473 points. Their top goalie, Corey Crawford, who was very good towards the end of his career, 917 save percentage, 46, 47, and 10 record. That's not bad. And their last playoff appearance coming in 2020, where they upset the Edmonton Oilers in the qualifying round to make said playoffs. And of course, then they got dispatched by, I believe it was Vegas that dispatched them in the first round after that. But yeah, their points percentage has been 30th overall in this period in time, 443 points percentage. Their current power play ranking as of January 20th, and I'm going to leave it that way. I don't want to put in January 27th and then try to record a bunch of videos on Sunday before we leave for California. So yeah, 30th on the January 20th power rankings, but this is something that, as I said in the other video about Ottawa, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep tracking this, and then I can do other videos where I take an updated look. Last time we went on holidays, I did a video on where each team was at the All-Star break, and it didn't do all that well. So this time out, I'm trying something a little different. So we'll see how it goes. And by the time this posts to the channel, hopefully they do well, because if they don't, well, there's a whole bunch more coming. So act surprised when you get there. But I know that Ottawa and Chicago are not going to be surprises at the bottom. There are some surprises with where teams reside overall, but not when you're at the bottom, because these are teams that generally have not had success. And Chicago hasn't had any success in the playoffs for a long time. We're looking at almost a decade since the last time they had success in the playoffs. I know it doesn't feel like it. I know it doesn't feel like it's been 4 years since 2020, but it has. I know it doesn't feel like it's been 6 years since 2018, but it has. And again, that's how the aging process works. All of a sudden you wake up and you go, wow, what year is it? Holy crow, how did I get there? All right, cool. Anyways, I have that experience every morning when I wake up. It's one of the things about being old. You forget things. So every day you meet new people and you do new things because you forget you already did them and you already met them. So there you go. The one thing, of course, for Chicago is to stay the course with the rebuild and continue the slow build as they have. I'm kind of surprised at the amount of players they've extended beyond this season. I figured they'd sell them off for other assets, but it sounds like the team's pretty happy with what they have, and they want to keep those guys around as veterans, and it should work. The trick is finding forwards to play with Connor Bedard once he gets back from his broken jaw. I don't know that they have the forwards right now that can keep up with Gerard. There are, of course, some prospects in their system who could, just aren't there quite yet. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As a Hawks fan, how do you feel about this build and how things are going? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event that you haven't yet, because I know and I can tell and then I get sad. But anyways, thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.